Is there a decking product that can beat the heat and not burn your feet? We find out on this episode of TimberTips. We're here with Michael Rowland, who's a product expert at Gagne Lumber, and we're talking about heat, specifically heat as it pertains to your deck. We have 4 different decking products that we've tested. We have Ipe, Cedar, TimberTech, and Azek, and all 4 of those are affected by the heat in different ways. And so there's a lot of other factors that go into purchasing a deck and choosing a deck, but this is strictly about temperature and heat absorption. Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
I'm a product manager for Gagne Lumber Company, so there's a portfolio of products that I manage relationships with our manufacturers on. Amongst those, you mentioned TimberTech and Azek.
Let's talk about the wood products first. So Cedar and Ipe, how are those going to be affected by the sun and the heat in the summertime?
Primarily, you want to look at the cellular structure of the wood. So the denser the wood is, like Ipe, the longer it's going to take to heat up, but the higher the temperature will reach. If you look at something like Cedar, it's going to have an open cell structure, which is going to allow heat to get in there quicker, so it'll heat up quicker, but it also will cool down quicker. So it's not going to hit as high of a temperature as a denser species, say Ipe.
So let's talk about now the composite. So we chose TimberTech, but all of these composites tend to function the same way. How is that composite going to compare to the wood fibers?
So most of the composites, or actually all of them, will be a composition of wood species as well as a high-density polyethylene. It's approximately 50% wood to plastic ratio. So polyethylene is, the structure of it is one that will absorb heat, so it's going to take in that sunlight and absorb it to the core. It will get hotter. The top end temperature is going to be significantly hotter than a wood, but it also has the absorption will allow it to radiate for long after the heat source is gone away. So even after sundown, your composite decks are going to hold heat for a good couple of hours, so it'll be hotter than ambient temperature.
So how does that differ than the PVC products like Azek?
So PVC deckings, most of them are 100% PVC, meaning they don't have any wood species in them. So the characteristics of polyvinyl, if you look at the ends of it, it looks like basically a bunch of microscopic ping pong balls. So the air within there helps cool it as well. But it also, the nature of the polyvinyl does not absorb heat. While the surface temperature of the polyvinyl deck will get hotter than wood, it will not be absorbed in the core. So when the sun goes behind the clouds, or when a kid gets out of a pool and the bathing suit's dripping on it, that temperature is going to plummet pretty quickly, and it will take a while for it to heat back up, just because there's no core temperature that's going to be emitting from it from there. So if you look at the top out temperature, it should be about 15% cooler on a like color versus a composite, which your wood species would be slightly below that. So it's a little hotter than a wood, but it's significantly cooler than your composites.
So if you were comparing the 4 of these decking products next to each other, under a heat lamp or in the middle of the summertime under the sun, you may feel that the Azek is hotter than the other 3, but the difference is that as soon as shadow comes over it, as soon as water hits it, it will immediately cool, where the other 3 are going to take, several minutes or even hours to cool.
Well, the Azek should be cooler, even to the touch, under the same circumstances than a composite. But absolutely, the temperature will dissipate far quicker with that PVC than it will with a composite or wood.
It's important to note that too, if it's 100 degrees outside and it's Texas, like where we're at, they're all going to be hot. There's none that are going to escape the heat, but in terms of which one's going to stay hotter longer, which one's going to get hotter faster, that's what we're looking at with these.
Yes.
So another area I want to look at is color. Now, a lot of people talk about, are darker colors actually going to be hotter than lighter colors?
As far as the synthetic deckings are concerned, the color has more of an effect on the composite. So when it's absorbing The heat, if the darker colors will absorb more heat than the lighter colors. And there's less of a difference with the polyvinyl, again, because it's not being absorbed. So while there is a difference in the top out temperature of your darker colors on the PVC side relative to the lighter colors on the PVC side, the difference is not as noticeable as it is with the composites.
So there you have it. If you want the coolest decking product, then you probably need to go with a light color Azek. We want to thank Michael for being out, giving us this great information about these products. If you want more information, you can go to azek.com or timbertown.com. We'll have a link in the description below. And next week we're going to be talking about stains. What are the common stains that are going to affect these decking products and what you can do about them? Be sure to hit subscribe and click on the notification bell, and we'll see you next week on TimberTips.